If you've ever looked at the Porsche 911 lineup and felt completely lost, you're not alone. There are coupes, convertibles, all-wheel drive versions, track versions, off-road versions, and everything in between, and they all look almost identical from the outside, which makes it even more confusing. So today, we're going through every single 911 variant. What makes each one different, who it's actually built for, and whether it's worth the money. No fluff, no filler, just everything you need to know about one of the greatest car lineups ever made. Let's start at the beginning. The base 911 Carrera is the entry point into the 911 world. And when I say entry point, I mean a car that starts at around $115,000 and will still do 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. The Carrera comes with a 3.0-liter twin turbocharged flat-six engine producing 379 horsepower rear-wheel drive and Porsche's PDK dual-clutch gearbox as standard, though you can still order a manual if you want one, and a lot of people do. The Carrera is the purest 911 experience. It's not the most powerful, it's not the most extreme, but it's the one that feels most connected to what the 911 has always been about. Rear engine, rear wheel drive, flat six soundtrack, and a driving experience that very few cars at any price can match. Step up from the base Carrera and you get the Carrera S. Same basic formula, but the engine now produces 443 horsepower, the brakes are bigger, the suspension is sportier, and the overall character of the car sharpens up noticeably. The S also gets larger rear tires, which gives it a wider stance and makes it look slightly more purposeful. For most people, the Carrera S is the sweet spot of the entire 911 range. It has enough power to feel genuinely fast, enough refinement to use every day, and enough visual presence to turn heads without being over the top. It starts at around $130,000, and honestly, for what you get, that's a strong argument. By the way, before we continue, we sell ambient LED lighting kits for your car starting from just $60. If you want to upgrade your car's interior, the link is in the description. Go check it out. The Targa is the most distinctive looking 911 in the standard range. It has a fixed stainless steel roll bar behind the seats, a retractable fabric roof section at the front, and a wraparound rear window that gives it a completely unique silhouette. The whole roof opening and closing is an automated process that takes about 19 seconds, and it's genuinely one of the most theatrical things in the car world. People stop and stare every time. The Targa comes in both rear and all-wheel drive versions, and mechanically it's identical to the Carrera and Carrera S. It costs a little more than the equivalent coupe purely for the distinctive design and the roof mechanism. If you want open-air driving, but you like the look of the fixed roll bar, the Targa is the one. The Cabriolet is simpler than the Targa. It's a full convertible with a fabric soft top that folds completely away. It opens faster than the Targa, gives you a more traditional open-top experience, and is slightly lighter than the Targa as a result. Again, available in Carrera and Carrera S specifications with rear or all-wheel drive, the Cabriolet is the most straightforward way to get an open 911, and for a lot of people, that simplicity is exactly the point. Now things start to get serious. The 911 Turbo has been around in various forms since 1974, and the current version is genuinely frightening in the best possible way. The standard Turbo produces 572 horsepower, has all-wheel drive as standard, hits 60 miles an hour in 2.7 seconds, and has a top speed of 198 miles per hour. And that's the normal one. The Turbo S takes everything up another level. 640 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, and a level of performance that genuinely competes with dedicated supercars costing twice as much. What makes the Turbo so remarkable is that it does all of this while remaining a completely usable daily car. The Turbo starts at around $207,000 and the Turbo S at around $230,000. Both are worth every single penny. If the Turbo is the all-rounder, the GT3 is the specialist. The GT3 uses a naturally aspirated 4.0-liter flat-six engine, no turbos, that produces 502 horsepower and revs all the way to 9,000 revolutions per minute. That engine note alone is worth the price of admission. The GT3 is built primarily for track use with a fully adjustable suspension, massive fixed rear wing, carbon ceramic brakes as standard, and a chassis tuned with input from Porsche's Motorsport division. It's available with PDK or a 6-speed manual, and the manual GT3 is widely considered one of the greatest driving experiences available at any price point. The GT3 starts at around $170,000, and if you're serious about driving, it is arguably the most rewarding car in the entire 911 lineup. The GT3 Touring is essentially the same car as the GT3 with one significant difference. The large fixed rear wing is replaced with a smaller retractable spoiler that gives the car a much more subtle and understated appearance. Mechanically, it's identical. Same engine, same chassis, same performance. It's built for people who want the GT3 driving experience without the visual aggression of the full aero package. A more grown-up GT3 is probably the best way to describe it, and because it looks so much like a standard 911 from the outside, it's become one of the most sought-after sleepers in the car world. The GT3 RS is where road car and race car become almost indistinguishable. Massive aerodynamic package, active rear wing elements, swan neck wing mounts, air intakes cut into every available surface. This car generates downforce figures that were unheard of in a road-legal 911 until it arrived. The engine is the same 4.0-liter naturally aspirated unit from the GT3, but the entire focus of the car has shifted completely towards track performance. Road comfort is minimal, ride quality is firm, and it is loud. But around a circuit, it is absolutely devastating. It starts at around $240,000 and is only available with PDK. Not for everyone, but for the right person, it's the most extreme thing Porsche sells with a number plate. The GT2 RS takes the GT3 RS platform and adds the turbocharged engine from the Turbo S. 690 horsepower, rear-wheel drive only, no all-wheel drive safety net, just 690 horsepower going to the back wheels of a car that weighs under 1,500 kilograms. It is the most powerful and fastest 911 ever made in standard production form, and it holds the production car lap record at the Nürburgring. It starts at around $293,000 and is genuinely one of the most serious road-legal performance cars ever built. It is also completely unforgiving. This is not a car for inexperienced drivers. And then there's the one nobody saw coming. The 911 Dakar was revealed in 2022, and it is a lifted, off-road capable 911 with underbody protection, all-terrain tires, and a raised suspension that can go even higher at the press of a button. It uses the Carrera 4S engine and all-wheel drive system, and it is genuinely capable off-road in a way that no 911 had ever been before. Porsche built it because they could, and also because the original 911 actually won the Paris-Dakar Rally in 1984. Only 2,500 were made worldwide. It starts at around $222,000, and it might be the most interesting and unexpected 911 ever put into production. So that's every current 911 variant explained. From the base Carrera all the way to the GT2 RS and the Dakar, the 911 range covers more ground than most people realize, and there is genuinely a version of this car for almost every type of driver. The Carrera for the everyday enthusiast, the Turbo S for the person who wants everything, the GT3 for the track obsessed, and the Dakar for whoever looked at a 911 and thought it needed to go off-road. 60 years of the same basic concept, rear engine, flat six, unmistakable shape, and somehow Porsche keeps making it more relevant every single generation. That is genuinely impressive. If you want to see a full breakdown of any of these specific models in more detail, drop it in the comments and we'll cover it. Thanks for watching.